Yeah, there were protests everywhere. There was one video that I saw. Yeah, Breakthrough News had this one. Happening now, thousands march in the streets of St. Louis against the mass ICE raids and deportations of migrants. We need more of this. We need way more of this. This is the kind of action, this is the kind of solidarity we need. Protests, much like voting, is one aspect of engaging in democracy, right? It is one thing you can do. Do they fix things? Do they solve problems? No. No. Neither does voting. Neither does writing your senator. These are one cog in a machine of resistance. That's it, right? They bring attention. They bring conversation forward. It is important to demonstrate in your communities that there is a desire for something different, that there is solidarity in the community. Happening now, thousands march in the streets of St. Louis against the mass ICE raids and deportations of immigrants. Yeah, it was everywhere yesterday. Protesters in LA were blocking the 101 freeway. Oh, here's another video of it. And as there always is, there's police resistance. Los Angeles police, dressed in riot gear, are in a standoff as thousands of protesters march against ICE deportations. The Los Angeles Police Department are currently in a standoff in riot gear with thousands of protesters as activists and demonstrators have taken over parts of downtown Los Angeles. The protesters, many of whom are anti-ICE activists, are marching through the streets to oppose immigration and customs enforcement deportations. These deportations were carried out under executive orders signed into law by President Donald Trump. Some demonstrations have escalated, with protesters shutting down major highways as nationwide protests continue to unfold across the country. So every time you see protests hit major intersections, aquí nos estamos y no vamos means here we are and no, we're not leaving. Okay, thank you to the Los Pipos in chat. I can't believe someone blatantly drove over protesters and Trump defended that behavior. It's okay for the president to threaten to kill you, just not the other way around. Cussy riot. Donald Trump had an American citizen who defended himself against a fascist attack violently, killed a Proud Boy who was attacking him and his friend, had federal marshals go into Portland and assassinate Michael Raynell, a longtime anti-fascist activist, and then used it as a campaign stump speech. Someone asked earlier, how long before Donald Trump uses, direct violence against protesters? Donald Trump doesn't have to order that. Violence against dissent in America is a time-honored tradition, like the tradition of ad breaks that are about to play right now. Joe Biden used to direct violence against protesters. What do you mean? Yeah, Joe Biden did it. It's all part and parcel of the American imperial core. Like, this is what it is. If you dissent against it, unacceptable. But if you are protesting as a fucking Nazi group in Nashville and in Columbus like they do every month, that's no problem, because you're not disrupting the established order. You're not doing anything that's new. You're not saying, hey, let's not profit off of the immiseration of working class people, whether they are citizens or undocumented. You're not doing that. You're just saying, let's do violence against people regardless of who they are. That's fine for America. They don't care about that. Nazis are allowed to march in the streets all the time. Just waiting for the military to be called in. I mean, it's an open question. These things are open questions as to like when it will happen. The question that I have before even that, because that's expected. I expect the National Guard and BORTAC to be called in, especially for anti-ICE protests. I expect, BORTAC to show up and black bag people. I expect the National Guard to show up. What I don't have an expectation to happen, but I hope it does, and I would encourage you to get involved in your communities, is protest. Mass, sustained, militant protest. When I say militant, I don't mean like militia. I mean coordinated. I mean organized. I mean focused. The media training and media consistency of the pro-Palestinian encampments was incredible. It was awesome to see the consistency and the clarity that these activists had. I want to see that same level of training and clarity and focus in any protests over the next 4 years. That's what I want to see. Now, with every instance of protest where it hits the streets, I was going to say this earlier, but I lost focus for a second. With every instance where there's a protest in the streets, there's always the motherfuckers who were like, oh yeah, because blocking traffic's definitely going to stop deportations. Let me tell you, first and foremost, who knows, maybe an ICE unmarked vehicle was, stopped in traffic and delayed the deportations of somebody. You don't know that. But also, you think that this is going to stop commerce? You think, a 1 hour traffic delay is going to stop commerce? Going to stop people from getting to work? Just wait until these tariffs hit. Just wait until the deportations hit your shelves.
We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that. But long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world.
This is an Elon line, by the way. This is not normally how Donald Trump talks. And I'm not doing the libbed up, President Musk thing. This take is from Donald Trump's been spending too much time with Elon Musk, and he's absorbing some of Elon Musk's talking points.
Deficits with almost every country. Not every country, but almost. And we're going to change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We have deficits with everybody. We help everybody. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that. We're going to change it fast. We're going to make America great again. We have to focus on our country. We have tremendous potential if properly used, and we have to focus on our country. Tremendous deficits with China, tremendous deficits with the European Union, tremendous deficits with Mexico and Canada.
Deficits mean we are getting more than we are giving. Yeah, he doesn't understand what deficits are. I tweeted it out the other night. He said, today I've implemented a 25% tariff on imports from Mexico and Canada, 10% on Canadian energy, and 10% additional tariff on China. This was done through the International Emergency Economic Powers Act because of the major threat of illegal aliens and deadly drugs killing our citizens, including fentanyl. We need to protect Americans, and it is my duty as president to ensure the safety of all. I made a promise on my campaign to stop the flood of illegal aliens and drugs from pouring across our borders, and Americans overwhelmingly voted in favor of it. So I put 3 things here, and only because I don't have enough room in this tweet to, really dive into like all of the things that I think are the reasons. So I said, incredibly stupid move that I can only imagine 3 reasons for. 1, he genuinely doesn't know what tariffs are. 2, he's using tariffs as a political cudgel for favorable trade renegotiations. And 3, the tariffs are a rapid cash flow injection to corpos via price hikes on consumers. So, couple things. I do believe that he doesn't understand fully what tariffs are for and what they do. Right? I truly believe that. He doesn't know exactly what tariffs purpose is, but he does understand that they are a cudgel. He does use this as a political cudgel. Now, these can be walked back at any point and say, I did it, there's less fentanyl, there's less immigration, and that's a dub for him, right? He's doing this primarily, and I heard Carter say this as well last night, that this is a win for his base, that he makes promises and he keeps them.